Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Conquer College Admissions. My name is Julie Kim and I'm a graduate of USC and Harvard, and now I help and mentor and guide high school students to find their passion and use that to get accepted into their Ivy League and top tier colleges. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and click on the notification bell so that you'll be notified when I release new videos every single week. Over the past 10 years that I've worked in this industry of college essays, college consulting, all of that, I realized that a lot of students were making mistakes when they were writing their essays. So it doesn't matter if you have straight A's, it doesn't matter if you've created awesome passion projects, or it doesn't matter if you've won competitions and awards. If you cannot demonstrate what you've done in a compelling way, if you can't communicate that with the college admission officers, then there's definitely going to be a disconnect. And essays will be a very, very important part of this application process. So I want to make sure that you are not making mistakes when it comes to writing your college essays for Ivy League and top tier. I have listed out 11 to share with you, so let's go ahead and get started. Topic number 1 that you want to avoid is when you are writing your accomplishments and what's on your resume in your essay. You never want to repeat what's in your resume, what's in your transcript, right into your essay, because you're essentially wasting that space. You need to demonstrate your values. You need to demonstrate why you decided to go for the extracurricular activities. Your extracurricular activities need to create a story, not just restating what's on your resume. Does that make sense? So if you are sort of resharing what you've done, all of your accomplishments into an essay, you know you're not going in the right direction. Topic number 2. When you are writing about how awesome your mom is, how awesome your grandfather is, how awesome your brother is, how awesome your teacher is, it's great. It's great that you think they're awesome and that they've impacted your life in unbelievable ways, but you can't be talking about them the entire time. A lot of students make this mistake, and basically this essay is about you. This essay is about how they've impacted you, how their ideals have shaped you, and from that, what action steps did you take? So make sure that you're not focusing on them, but rather focusing on yourself. You are the main character. Topic number 3. If you are writing in a narrative format and just trying to tell a really good story and adding all the vivid imagery and adding specific details that's not really necessary, you're not going in the right direction. This is not a narrative writing contest. This is not about how well you are sharing a story. This essay needs to consist of narrative elements, expository elements, persuasive elements, and argumentative elements as well. It's a combination of all writing types, and that's why it's so hard to write these essays. So if you are just trying to tell a good story, write a good narrative piece, that means that you're sort of losing that persuasive element. So make sure that you're not writing an entire essay that has narrative elements. Really important. Topic number 4. Complaining about your circumstance. You're complaining about your grades, you're complaining about your teachers, the system, the government, everything. You're complaining about how you had no opportunities, anything that you can complain about. If you're complaining the entire essay, you definitely know that that's not a good topic to work with. Colleges want to know, okay, based on your circumstance, based on your environment, how did you grow from that? What action steps did you take? Did you just sit at home and just cry to yourself and think, oh, poor me? Or did you take some bold steps in your academic journey? So if you are complaining in your essay, you definitely want to rethink your topic. Topic number 5 that could go wrong is when you are trying to be too creative. You are writing an entire poem. You are writing song lyrics. You're trying to be too funny. When you try to be too blank, too creative, too funny, too emotional, it's not a good essay topic. Your essay needs to be balanced. So if you're trying way too hard to be creative when you're not, or when you're trying to be too funny when you're not, you definitely know that that's not going in the right direction. So be yourself, be authentic. If you are really funny and you love joking around and you want to implement that in a moderate way, then go for it. But if you're trying really too hard just to impress, just to get them to like you, that's not a good topic. Topic number 6 is when you're writing about one extracurricular in your Common App essay, and that's all you talk about. I had a student where his first draft consisted of his time in DECA, the entire thing. And at the end of the day, I was like, so who are you? I see that DECA is amazing. I see that you were very involved, but what are your values in life? What did you study? What is your perspective? All of those things were not there. Are you intellectually curious about something? It was just a list of what he did in DECA, and that was it. So we had to do a lot of readjusting and editing, so we definitely don't want that. Number 7 is a little bit of a sensitive topic, but you want to avoid writing about something that is full of guilt, shame, just feeling a lot of self-pity. And obviously life can be tough sometimes. Things do happen in our lives. Parents could separate, or there could be a death. There just could be a lot of unexpected things. But if we are writing about how depressing that time was, or if we're talking about that event, the entire essay, you definitely know that you're going in the wrong direction. Adding a little bit of that component, 1 to 2 sentences is fine if it has made you as a person you are today. However, if that's not the case, then we don't want that. So we don't want the essay to be too depressing, or we don't want it to be filled with too many negative emotions. So if you've had something that you had to overcome, you want to make it in a way that shows why that's important to you and how you overcame that. But too much is always not good. Topic number 8 is when you have a very cliche story. So what that means is, just like a very typical superhero movie or rags to riches novel, anything that is really general, expected. For example, maybe you had C's and B's and you got A's, and that's what you write about. For Ivy League and top tier, that could be a little bit too general, and a lot of students already submit those types of essays, and we're working with acceptance rates that are really low, so we definitely want to avoid any rags to riches stories, or I became really depressed, really happy. There is a different way, a better way to represent yourself and share your story, but we definitely don't want too much of that cliche storyline. So we do want to add in surprises here and there, make some arguments here and there to spice things up a little bit. Topic number 9 is when you're writing about controversial topics, and that's pretty much it. Don't write about controversial topics if especially you have a very strong viewpoint about something. This is not about sharing your political views. It's not really about you talking about current issues and events. This is not a research paper. This is not a school paper. This is just another way for you to show the colleges who you are and what your values are. And if you are too extreme, if you are being too vocal about the controversial topics that's going on, then that's definitely not a good essay topic for colleges. Topic number 10 is when your essay does not address your academic interest, personal interest, and or values. You don't need to have all 3 of them, because for supplemental essays, you can talk about your academic interest a little bit later. But from those 3, you should be able to tap into one of them. So if it's your value of making an impact, then we definitely want to mention that in your Common App essay. If it's about your personal interest in cooking with your aunts and uncles every Christmas, then obviously that's something that you could write about. But you do want to stay consistent with your Ivy League and top tier theme. And if you don't know what that is, that's something that I also talk about in my Ivy League top tier bootcamp course, how to create your Ivy League top tier theme so that you have very clear direction and navigation as to what you should be focusing on in terms of extracurriculars. And so we also want to make sure that your theme is being consistent in your essays as well. Topic number 11 is when you are talking about ideas that have not been developed or implemented yet. So you're saying, I'm going to work on publishing a book, or I'm going to work on a research study. Well, you haven't done it. So if you're talking about, I will do it, I will do that basically means that you didn't do it. And also, if you are writing about what you dealt with in your middle school years, the entire essay, that's actually something that you don't want to do. There are things that happen in elementary school years, middle school years, and that's a starting point of your story. But if you're talking about that the entire time, it shows that you're sort of stuck in that time period. And we definitely want to show growth over time and how you matured and how you fostered your interest and passion in your high school years. So definitely we don't want to talk too much about premature ideas and your middle school years too extensively. All right, so that's it. Those are the 11 topic ideas that I really don't want you to use in your essays, especially if you're aiming for Ivy League and top tier, because as you know, it's competitive, and we want to make sure that your essays are creative, compelling, authentic, and all of that good stuff. So I hope that you found this video helpful. I also wanted to let you know that the Ivy League Top Tier Bootcamp course is open for you to enroll. And this course basically breaks down what you need to do in terms of extracurriculars, networking with colleges, passion projects, everything that you need to know to get accepted into Ivy League and top tier. I talk about it in the course. So I'll leave the link down below. It's juliekimconsulting.com/confidence, so you can learn more about that course there. As you know, we have a podcast, the Mystifying College Admissions podcast. We have guests and experts from all fields, and so definitely check it out. And lastly, we have our Facebook group, Conquer College Admissions. All the things that I talk about, the resources and the links will be down below, so you can just click it and start accessing all of our free resources. I hope that you found this video very helpful, and if you are applying to Ivy Leagues and top tier this year, I wish you the best of luck. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.